Mario Kart 64 vs Diddy Kong Racing. There's been a debate since the 90s on which one is better, so I decided to boil both games down to 5 criteria to decide which one is better and why. This is entirely my personal opinion and is in no way an objective conclusion.
1. Graphics.
Mario Kart 64 came out in December 1996 and Diddy Kong was released almost 1 year later in November of 1997. The graphical innovation of Mario Kart 64 should not be discounted. By today's standards, they're nothing special, but in 1996 it was amazing to see a fully 3D race track and 8 characters on screen at the same time, even though the characters are sprites. As an 8-year-old I couldn't tell and I doubt many other people could either. Some of the most vibrant and memorable tracks from Mario Kart history come from this entry. My personal favorites being Wario Stadium and Rainbow Road. Some people argue that the sprites date the game as they are not truly 3D, but I think it helps the game age better because sprites are timeless. Diddy Kong Racing was released in November of 1997, almost 1 year later, has fully 3D rendered characters. One of the biggest differences between the two games is that in DKR you have 3 modes to race with. You can race by car, airplane or hovercraft. Many stages support 1 or 2 of these modes, so there are routes available. There are 10 characters in this game, with 2 of them being unlockable. You will race through volcanoes with dinosaurs, ice igloos with giant snowballs, islands with giant octopus, and temperate woodlands with dragons, as well as a nice space obstacle course stage. I think overall the graphical presentation of Diddy Kong Racing is just slightly more impressive than Mario Kart given the 3D models of every character, including background characters.
Gameplay.
Mario Kart 64 is a kart racing game in which the player controls one of 8 selectable Mario characters in several racetracks that vary in shape and theme. During a race, the players can obtain random items from special boxes placed in different areas of the track that are used to impede the opposition and gain the advantage. For example, Koopa Troopa shells and bananas allow the player to attack opponents and slow them down, and mushrooms grant the player a temporary boost in speed and jumping ability. In a change from the previous installment, players can carry more than one item at a time. Mario Kart 64 has 16 racing tracks and 4 battle stages. It is the first game in the Mario Kart series that supports slipstreaming. Mario Kart 64 has 4 game modes: Grand Prix, Time Trial, Versus, and Battle. Grand Prix mode supports both single-player and competitive multiplayer gameplay, while other modes only support one or the other. In Battle mode, up to 4 players try to knock 3 balloons off of their rivals in 4 unique stages, whereas in competitive mode it is a traditional race on the stages present in the Grand Prix mode. Unlike Mario Kart 64, Diddy Kong Racing does not have a Grand Prix mode. Instead, it has a single-player adventure mode. In adventure mode, players control the racer of their choice to progress through the story. Players begin on Timber's Island, which consists of 5 interconnected worlds: Tino Domain, Snowflake Mountain, Sherbet Island, Dragon Forest, and Future Fun Land. The worlds are opened up by collecting balloons, except for Future Fun Land, which is unlocked after defeating Wizpig for the first time and ranks first place in all for trophy races of the original worlds. Each world contains 4 racetracks, an unlockable battle stage, and a race against a boss. If the player defeats Wizpig in Future Fun Land, obtains all amulet pieces, and collects all the gold medals, the player will be able to play in a mode called Adventure 2. In this mode, all the balloons change color to platinum and the tracks are inverted from left to right. The game also features 4 battle modes which consist of 2 deathmatch maps, a capture the flag style battle, and a mode which involves opponents capturing eggs. The battle modes are not initially selectable and must be unlocked by collecting keys hidden in each of the worlds. I think that the gameplay of Mario Kart 64 might be a little better for a quick race, jump into battle, or a competition. Diddy Kong Racing is preferable as a single-player experience but also has a very solid multiplayer mode.
3. Music.
The soundtrack for Mario Kart 64 was composed by Kenta Nagata, which is his first work on a Nintendo game. The soundtrack was released several times in different formats, including compact disc and audio cassette. 4 different versions of the album were released: Racetracks and Greatest Hits soundtrack in North America. Original soundtrack and Club Circuit were released in Japan. It was later released in a 3-disc collection, along with the soundtracks of Star Fox 64 and Super Mario 64. Many of these tracks have been remixed in later installments of Mario Kart as well as the Super Smash Bros. Series. Personally, Luigi's Raceway has been permanently burned into my brain and it is the de facto Mario Kart stage theme for me. I also have a nostalgic love of the Rainbow Road track. The music for Diddy Kong Racing was composed by legendary composer David Wise, best known for his work on the Donkey Kong Country series of games. The soundtrack was first released in Japan in April 1998, with 42 tracks, while a version of the album was released in Europe. For its United States release, only 16 tracks were featured. The disc itself was specially shaped in the form of Diddy Kong's head, which was unplayable in certain CD players. There are many memorable and beloved tracks in this game, but personally, I don't remember as many of them as I do with Mario Kart off the top of my head.
4. Stage selection.
Mario Kart 64 has 16 racing tracks and 4 battle stages. The stages are divided up into 4 cups. Many of these stages are considered beloved classics today and have been remade in future installments of Mario Kart. To name a handful off the top of my head, some of the best would be Yoshi's Valley, Rainbow Road, and Peach's Royal Raceway. Diddy Kong Racing contains 20 racetracks split between 5 worlds. Each world has a challenge mode, boss and multiplayer mode. They are divided up thematically between a lush green dinosaur land, an aquatic island, a snowy mountain, and a temperate woodland with a secret space land unlocked in the story mode. I think because a lot of these stages require an unlock to play and are mostly one or two player one, would say that Mario Kart has a superior track selection.
5. Replayability.
The beauty of these two games being so similar and yet so different is that I believe each one accomplishes something different for the player. If you're looking to just play a quick race with your friends or compete in a quick battle, I would say Mario Kart is the go-to game. On the other hand, if you want to play through a challenging series of stages and enjoy diverse gameplay with 3 different vehicle types and unique multiplayer minigames, Diddy Kong Racing is the way to go. Diddy Kong Racing includes a story mode to which remixes the game in a number of ways, and there is a secret-to-player campaign. So if you want to invest more time into a single-player adventure or a cooperative one, Diddy Kong Racing it is. Mario Kart 64 just barely edges out Diddy Kong Racing as the superior kart racer on the Nintendo 64. Again, this is purely my opinion and it changes depending on my mood. You really can't go wrong with either one of these two games, and I would recommend both of them.
The victor goes to...
Hey, you very good. See you next time.